This week reminded me that there's a difference between being lazy and being empty. I think I confuse those two a lot. The week started the way most Mondays do. The alarm goes off at 4:40 in the morning, little negotiation that you have with yourself before your feet hit the floor. It's funny because I don't actually hate my job. I just hate getting to my job. Once I'm there, I'm fine, but getting out of bed, that's the battle. Especially in this time of year. Anybody who worked outside in Memphis summer knows what I'm talking about. You walk outside, and it already feels like somebody's wrapped you in a wet blanket around your face. Then we get to the job site. The equipment isn't charged. We got 1,400 feet of wire to pull. Everybody just kind of shrugs and figures it's because that's what tradespeople do. We complain. Then we solve the problem. That's the job. While all that's going on, my dad's getting a pacemaker put in. And I kept telling myself he'd be okay, and logically I believe that. But there's always this little part of your brain that starts asking questions anyways. I think that just happens when someone you love is in the hospital. You don't just worry about today, you start wondering what life looks like today. How he'll adjust, what changes, what won't, what stays the same. And then there's my art. I've been saying I've got artist block, but I don't think that's actually true. The ideas are still there. They're not gone. I just don't got the energy to chase them right now. And I think that's completely different problems. I caught myself thinking this week maybe I've been waiting for my life to become stable to create again, and I realized I don't think it's ever been stable. Those people who I admire probably weren't waiting for calm either. Maybe the goal is finding solid ground, learning how to keep your footing while the ground moves underneath you. That thought stayed with me all week. Tuesday rolled around and made another one of my decisions you make before your brain is fully awake. Somebody called needing money for an emergency. Yes, so I said it without thinking. Maybe that was the right thing, maybe it wasn't. Wednesday, I found out that that friend had apparently popped positive for a drug test and was having some issues with custody. That one hit me. Not because I had all the answers, just because another reminder that everybody's carrying something you can't see, and sometimes people are fighting battles they're losing. I caught a tire on the way to work, which honestly felt like the universe was just piling on. Fixed it. And I tried to drive Lyft, but I started feeling terrible. I go to urgent care. It's bronchitis, a sinus infection. Go home, sleep. Thursday night, I'm back under the floors, 90 degrees, humidity, 10 hours. Back to work. I rushed to come home for a date that got canceled. A year ago probably would have ruined my night. This time I just kind of was like, well, I saved some money and started painting. Maybe that's growth. Or maybe I'm just too tired to be disappointed and feel like shit. Friday wasn't much different. Same work, same under the floors, same 90 degrees, same humidity. And I was sick. Still tired. Instead of trying to squeeze productivity into myself, I went and spent time with a friend. Sometimes that's a better investment. And come into yesterday, it's Saturday. Parking lot pimping's happening. Yes, this is the name of an event. It's a local block party. And like this time, they have roller skaters, food trucks, good people just dancing and having a good time. The crowd was triple the size of the last time, which for being the second event's a good sign. I was still sick. I was still sweating through set up and still trying not to cough on customers. But I had a good time anyways. And somewhere in the middle of packing up, I realized something. I spent a lot of life believing that my worth was tied to my output. How much I make, how much I paint, how much I work, how much I produce. This week, my body wasn't interested in any of that. It just kept saying the same thing: rest, sleep, sit down. And I fought it for most of the week until I couldn't anymore. And you can hear it in my voice, I'm still sick. Maybe there's something to that, though. Maybe listening to your body isn't a weakness, it's wisdom. I've got a quiet 4th of July weekend ahead of me. This is the first weekend I've had off in a minute. Normally, I'm guilty about not feeling it with work. I'm still going to work. I'm going to do home and studio stuff. I'm going to stream probably. But not this year. I'm not going to feel guilty about not feeling it with work. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to recover. Because there's one thing that this week taught me. It's that my capacity isn't infinite. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't go anywhere on an empty tank. And sometimes the most productive thing you can do is make sure that there's still something left of you next week. I appreciate everybody who's been coming and listening to just this weird little journal thing I'm making. You don't have to. And it's kind of selfish of me to think you will. But know that the appreciation is there.